Cars USA. Yeah.
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 17. Live, coming to 6 people all over the country live. Hello.
This is the pre-Cyber Monday spectacular.
Yeah. Welcome back. If you are listening to this after the fact, you're missing out. I can just tell you that
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. You're missing the intense energy.
Thousands of viewers.
There's a buzz in the room.
We've taken it up a few notches.
I can tell you right now. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, and also thanks to John for setting all
figuring this out.
Yeah. Thank you to John.
Yeah. I was sweating at these last 12 minutes trying to.
He's just a mess right now emotionally.
Yeah. There were some last minute technical difficulties,
but we figured it out.
John figured it out. Okay, we are going to treat this, I guess, like a regular podcast.
Yeah.
Unless...
we can take some questions or comments if people have any.
If you guys have any questions or comments, just throw them out there. We're not like cool enough as a channel to ignore you yet.
Yeah.
We're trying to get there.
Yeah. I'd love to be cool enough, but we're not there yet. So yeah, feel free to interact. We have your comments and like chat set up on a screen.
Can you make the text bigger?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Let me squint a little bit.
My eyes are good, but there we go. Much better. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, we got it. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. For those of you who are not here, if you're enjoying Car Bros Podcast, consider signing up for our Patreon. And also rate us on iTunes, because apparently that helps with something, the algorithm or something like that. Yeah. Mike found these
Joe Camel.
We were wondering if you'd
we saw one at like a swap meet. At an automotive swap meet. We found one of these Joe Camel koozies. Smoking Joe Camels. They just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
So we had to go to eBay to get
pretty terrible
a whole
design.
matching set, but
it's very
we got it.
Friendly.
Yeah.
But we've got them. Okay, so we were going to start by
just like an update
on I guess our 3 cars.
Yeah.
Basically. I am working on a video, which I've been talking about now for
many a week.
Yeah, like 2 months on the podcast, and then like 6 to 8 months outside the podcast, of the M5. A couple podcasts ago, I had bought some like coilovers for it or something, and I was like, I'm not putting them on, so I'm just going to pay a shop. So I paid a shop. That happened. Even though, and there's this weird thing about like, even though I feel like I know a lot about cars and I know how to like negotiate and stuff, I still like, I bought my own parts and took them to the mechanic.
Bent over.
Got bent over. It was like, it's just hard to avoid.
Swallowed your pride.
With the shop, yeah. And
they corner balanced it though, bro.
Yeah, he corner balanced the M5, which was nice. But it's just like...
never adjust your ride height.
Yeah. He found some stuff. They were tearing the rear suspension apart, and they found a couple bushings that were worn out, and he's like, these things are worn out, and since we're in here, I can replace them. And I was like, yeah, fine, like, go ahead. And he's like, well, list on them is $330, but I'll give them to you for $200 or something. And I was like, I looked up online and they're like 80
80 a piece or 80 total? Oh, okay.
It's just like, come on. But it's like, it's hard to be,
I'll bring them myself.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, hold on, I'll just order them. So anyways, long story short, I don't need to get into how much I paid extra for that. But that is done. Now the M5 is lowered, riding on KW V3s.
Big boy.
Which is nice. Those are nice shocks and coilovers.
I know firsthand. Yes.
Yeah, John has them on the STI. But that car lost some of its plushness.
Panache.
Well, just like it was kind of a big, not soft, but like comfortable sedan. Very compliant. and it's a little sportier now, and I like it more, but it actually gave up something special. Like there was something really nice about the stock suspension that like everything I read was just like, this is amazing. It's the way it should have come from the factory. And I don't know if I agree with that. Like now that it's done, it's like, this kind of, it's stiff, it's sportier. It's not like very stiff, but I don't know. I appreciated that car was kind of under the radar, soft a little bit, so it's not, but it looks a lot cooler. And it let me start the video,
the whole reason for
doing that. I have now started that video, and I'd say I'm about a third of the way through it.
You posted an update earlier today on Patreon,
and I posted a glimpse, a tiny. I really don't want to give much away
for
that
sneak peek,
but I threw up a couple screenshots on the Patreon earlier today. Some shots from that video, so the patrons can check that out. But yeah, that is coming along. It did make me like driving that car more. Yeah. Putting money into a car will make you...
It's a quick way to...
appreciate it.
It'll make
it out.
You...
Rekindled.
Yeah. It rekindled it. So that is coming along. I'd say January 1st is realistic. There's some pretty complex shots I have in mind. I want to get them...
dialed in.
I just want to do them right.
Yeah.
Because any of that stuff, it's like, I could do it the way I have it in my mind, or I could do this like lame version and get it done. And it's like, no, I think I want to do the good version.
Yeah. I mean, they've already waited 2 months. What's another month?
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
So that is coming. And the bit that I have shot, it looks... I haven't even shown these guys really. I just
we just saw the Patreon post. That's all we got.
The patrons know more than they do. But the little bit that I've shot, it looks fucking dope. It looks sweet. So I think people are going to like that. I think it's going to be, in my eyes, a big deal, but who knows? We'll see. So yeah, that's where the M5 video is at.
It's coming.
And then John did
so
what?
I'm adding more stuff. The
tuner bug is
the tuner bug is bitten me again. Since me and Garrett took our cars to Button Willow, like the go-kart track a couple months ago, and while we were there, I'm sure I mentioned this, the SDI had a radiator leak, which I've since fixed that. And then I've always wanted to do like a couple minor things. I've always wanted like a front mount instead of the top mount on it. And just kind of, it fell into me. A local guy was selling the Perrin front mount kit for super cheap. And so I just picked that up. And then when I picked that up, I was like, well, might as well get an air oil separator too, to add that,
tuner bug.
Yeah. To keep the oil out of the intake system. And then I was like, well, might as well get a downpipe and a wideband O2 sensor. And so,
that's a difficult car not to mod,
right?
Because there's a lot of aftermarket, and
there's a lot of lifestyle,
right? There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of parts, so I don't blame you for that.
Yeah. Oh, I also immediately after the track day, I bought new rotors and pads just because the Brembo OEM brake pads weren't. There's a right off of camera. There's a pile of car parts behind
a lot of
Garrett.
parts over there.
But yeah, so all that should be going in within the next couple weeks, and then probably another track day in February. I think Button Willow posts their schedule this coming week.
Oh, really? For
2019. So I'll check it out, and
it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So.
Yep. And then I sold my Civic Type R.
You bought a V6 Challenger.
Yeah, I we got a little tired of it. No, I've been driving it just about every day, and I love it. And I don't know, there's like things that I want to do to it.
Really?
Nothing like major. No, I wouldn't say it's tuner. It's like tuner bug light.
Like what? Maybe. What would you do to that car?
I want to change the wheels.
Oh yeah, that's
just
fair enough.
To get more sidewall, because 245, 30, 20 is.
Yeah.
Every time I see a little dip in the road, I'm like, oh, this is gonna fuck up my wheel.
Yeah.
So I definitely want more sidewall, and then I don't know, maybe lower it like an inch.
Really?
Probably just like springs.
Just springs, because it has the adaptive dampers,
there's a few springs out there that supposedly are made to work with the adaptive suspension. So but yeah, I definitely I still look for reasons to drive it. So I guess that's a good thing. I'm
still loving it.
Yep.
Yeah. You just went on a mountain drive. We went on a mountain drive 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then
you went again yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday went with some friends, and
yeah,
there's some actually pretty good roads
around here.
half an hour away.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
That was always fun. And then, Thanksgiving, there's always people visiting. So yesterday, we went out with 4 guys in the car.
Yeah.
A couple of my old buddies that hadn't seen it. So we went for a little drive. And there's something about piling dudes in the car.
Into a Civic Type R.
You can't really do with like a real sports car. But like, oh, do you want to check it out? Do you want to check it out?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Like, hop in. So I'm sure Coin likes that about the M5.
Yeah. Right.
If only it was a convertible, though. 4 dudes in a convertible. That's the peak.
4 guys. Yeah. As we've discussed.
Yeah.
In the past. So yeah, no, I love the Type R.
That's cool. Good. Yeah. I figured you'd like that thing.
Yep.
I like it too. I wish I had a need for it. It's just the M5 is too similar.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
At least in purpose.
Yeah, it's like another
execution,
4-door car. Yeah, sure, they're very different, but like.
Although me and Coin took the STI out 2 days ago, and
that was fun.
Coin did say the STI is more fun. Yeah,
I like.
See you guys later.
I'm sorry, but the STI motor is it's hard to tell because John's car's not stock,
right?
And so it's like driving John's car is an event. Especially because it's like those seats are tight on me,
right? Yeah. Yes,
and so it's like this whole thing, and you're buckled in.
Yeah, 6-point harness, extreme bucket seats.
That motor, I love that motor. I love the STI motor.
The Type R is definitely a better daily driver.
Yeah,
even when the Subaru was stock,
it's a lot newer.
Yeah, so.
What's up to Jason's wife?
Yeah,
shout out. He says he's forcing his wife to watch.
I'm sure she's loving every minute of this.
What's going on?
Damn, Type R convertible. That's good.
Yeah, we're getting some good feedback.
If anyone that works at Honda is watching this,
yeah.
Look, we can just get a buzzsaw. We can just we get the first ever Type R.
Yeah. This guy says he picked up Chinese food and the delivery driver's in a Type R.
That has to be the ultimate.
Which is pretty sweet. Yeah. The other thing, someone just said, what's your take on the first gen RAV4 2-door? We actually have some thoughts
we just
on this car. When we were in high school, someone had one, and we were just like constantly dying, laughing, making fun of it.
We were
Hi guys,
because it's such a ridiculous looking. Can you put it up easy?
Oh,
Can you bring it up? Bring up a picture.
RAV4 2-door.
2-door RAV4. Find like a ridiculous looking one. Because it's like, it looks like a shoe or something. It's a super funny looking, funky. Yeah, like it looks like something you'd make fun of.
It looks like a Photoshop.
Oh, that first one, because he's got the top off. Yeah. Pinch to zoom on that. Just kind of like
how to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it. Anyways, it's like a super silly looking car, and so we thought it was dumb looking in high school because it kind of is. But now I looked back on it to make fun of it. I was like, oh, let me look at those again. I was like, hold up.
Wait.
Like, these things are actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, no one's going to make something that looks like that.
Nope.
Anymore.
There was actually like a lot of cars that had that
kind of look. Yeah.
It's like a 2-door Baja kind of.
Like Suzuki Samurai kind of like
sidekick.
It's like, I don't know, that's so bad that it's good now.
Yeah.
It's like an anime character. It's like a Pokemon version of a Forerunner or something, you know?
It looks like a Choro-Q, which are those like penny eraser cars.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I kind of like that thing. Does that have a back seat too? Imagine putting 2 people.
It looks like
that's where you put your best guys.
Yeah. 2 dudes in the back. They're all exposed. You tint the front windows and then make them ride in the back exposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they also like kept making it.
God, this thing is just
like that's like
that's like the updated version.
It literally looks like some like extreme Photoshop warp.
Yeah.
Sadly, the 2019 RAV4 does not appear.
Yeah, it really lost some of its. Yeah.
Apparently, you can put the 3S GTE engine in that. Yeah, I'm sure there's dudes who like take it too far.
I think there's like a rally version or like a. Really? I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but I don't really like the new one. It's too modern. It's like, nah. It's
not as pure.
I need the removable roof. I need the full derp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to like find one of those. You can park it anywhere. I'm sure. It looks fake. Good
for you, Toy.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, when Toyota used to make good cars. Man. Another comment, not in the chat, but Someone mentioned, they were like, here are the things I hate about cars or something, because we were talking about like pet peeves or something. And he was saying people who referred, I think his comment was, his name is MK. And it was like, MK? Yeah, what's up, MK? People who are just way too into their car, which we've kind of covered in different aspects. But he's saying when they refer to their car as having a timeless design,
they usually don't know what it means.
That frame, timeless design, and like, oh, it could roll off the factory floor today.
Yeah.
He was saying like, you drive a 91 Prelude, like shut the fuck up. It's like, that is like one of the most overused, next to muscle car.
Oh yeah.
Timeless design is like one of the most overused.
Pontiac Fiero, timeless.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, it's a timeless design. It's like, do you know what that means? Because I think people use it completely opposite of what they mean. It's like,
Duran's music is timeless.
Yeah, it's like timeless. It's like, no, that's an extremely 80s design. It is so not timeless. It's the opposite of timeless. Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. There's every once in a while there's like a comment that
a really good one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like Bring a Trailer comment about the Infiniti M30, didn't he say like, oh, it's like a timeless look and that motor? But,
probably.
Yeah.
This is good. We're getting some solid. What's up, Nathan? You're 1LE.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Little shout out. It says he's stuck in traffic. That sucks. Worst. We've got a whole list of things to talk about, but this is pretty good. Worst
car purchase.
Worst car purchase you've made. My brother bought a E36 M3.
I remember that car.
Do you remember that? That black one?
Yeah.
It was a 95. Which 95 is kind of neat on those cars. It's a unique year. I think it's the only year you get OBD1, which like these days, who gives a shit? But it was like, it's easier to modify for that reason. And like the steering rack's faster. The motor was different. It's 3 liter instead of 3.2. It's like, there are some changes. So you get 1 year where it's a little different in 95 first year. And so he bought one. He bought a black one on eBay. And drove it for a bit, and I can't remember if it had problems with him. I'm not sure, but first of all, it came from eBay, and so I was like,
sight unseen. Yeah,
that's kind of strike one. But I think what he did was he drove it for a bit, and then he gave it to me to sell, and I was like, oh, I'll clean it up and sell it or something, and it took like 6 months to sell it, because as I would dig into it, there was so much wrong with it. It was such a piece of shit. It was like, the shocks had been changed, but like all the hardware was like grade 2. I mean, it was just like bolts were falling out of like critical suspension components and stuff. And I went to smog it, and it like way failed. It failed like super fucking bad. And the guy was like, there's no cat in here. Like the cat's been punched out. Like, you know, people would like punch the cat out with like a broom. School. And it was just like all this shit. And I think it had been hit in the front. And so I fixed a lot of it. I remember putting a used cat in it and taking it to a shop and like, can you please install this? Which is like way illegal.
Just help me.
And they were like, and they ended up doing it. But yeah, that sticks out to me as the worst car purchase ever. I didn't buy it, but he did, and I ended up taking the hit from it. I don't know if you have any.
Probably that Accord wagon, just because it was like,
just because it sucked.
Because it just got
stolen within 2 weeks.
Just because it was a painful. Yeah.
Like, oh, I bought a car. Oh, it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
One other, like, probably my most painful used car story was that Datsun Roadster.
Oh yeah,
69. 2000. Bring that up. 69 Datsun 2000. And it was a white 2 liter Roadster, which was like the precursor to the 240Z. Yeah, sure. Any of them. That white one in the middle. That was pretty close to it. Yep. And I found it. It was in the paper. And I went and looked at it, and it was like $1,500, and it was like restored. It's just one of those like weirdly good deals.
Right.
And those cars are awesome. They're tiny. It's hard for me to fit in it. But I I drove it for a couple months or something. Maybe I owned it. And then the guy you used to work for who ran that like speed shop or whatever, Mark, he was like, oh man, I used to have one of those. I'd love to have another one. Like, I'd love to have one. And at the time he had a 90 twin turbo 300ZX, which I also wanted. Yeah, Z3 too. And I was like, well, because like this isn't a very practical car for me to own because I don't have a garage. So it'd be nice if I could give it to someone who wanted it, right, and like would keep it and enjoy it. And he was just like, oh, I used to have, I mean, he was just like so into it. I used to have one of those. I'd love to have another one. And a lot of people felt that way. Right. My dad even wanted, you know, it's like I had a lot of friends who were like, man, I want that thing.
Yeah. Just like nostalgic for a different generation.
Yeah. Well, or they just wanted it, or it's cool, or it's hard to find one. And I had so little in it. It was $1,500 plus I put some like sweet wheels on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I traded it to him, to Mark, for like some cash plus the car for his Z. And then fucking like later that day, it was on eBay. He flipped it later that day. He fucking put it on eBay within the hour. It was like,
dude,
it was like hours later. Like I hadn't even finished my shift at work, and it was like on eBay, and it was like sold to some guy in Hawaii like before the day was over. It's like, I would have kept it. Like, what the fuck, man? Or I would have given it to anyone else who wanted it. That just reminded me.
I'm sure the Hawaiian guy ended up.
Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed it. I remember being like, yeah, I'll give it to you for like the equivalent of like $3,500 plus whatever. And he was like, I don't think it's worth that much. Like he negotiated super hard. And he fucking flipped it super fast. Okay, so Divergent. Oh wait, one more thing. Someone else commented about, we were talking about wheels, unofficial wheel names or whatever.
Yes.
Subways.
And I don't know, I didn't write it down. But apparently the RX-7, the first gen RX-7, had some 13 by 5.5s.
Dang.
Which were pretty popular, which I thought was sweet. I mean, that's like, I've eaten cakes bigger than that. Like, it's like a pie. But he said there were also some wheels that were like rotor shaped. And those are like really popular for like RX-7 guys, like rotor heads, rotor. Apparently.
Yeah.
And he was kind of making fun of rotary, like people who are really into rotaries, putting like triangles all over their cars and stuff.
Tattoos.
And it also reminded me of another time with my brother. I went to, I've got some of those if you want them. Cool, man. What do you want for them?
Is it these? Let me see. These?
I guess those are the ones he's talking about, maybe.
Does that look familiar?
Those look like it. Yeah. Apparently those are really hot. Yeah, real cool.
I like all the other wheels in the like suggestion.
Yeah, suggestion wheel.
Yeah.
Do you like
this first gen Viper ones?
Yeah.
The 3-spoke wheel in general is just like probably one of the worst designs ever, except for that first gen Viper wheel.
Right.
But it reminded me, my brother and I went to look at a RX-7 in the paper. It was like, I think it was
first gen or
second gen.
Second gen.
The second gen FC. RX-7 Turbo FC. It was, and those are actually kind of cool.
They're not bad. Yeah.
They're not bad. But we went to look at it, and we get to the place, and we walk up to what we think is the car, and we're like, I think it was like $1,000 or something. It like wasn't much. And we're like checking this car out, and we're like, this thing kind of sucks. Like we're just sort of looking at it, but like before the guy had walked out. And then I think he walked out and he's like, yeah, here's the car. And it's some other car that's even way shittier. It's like even worse. And there was some guy there already looking at it, and that was his car that we had been looking at. Where we were like, oh, this thing sucks. It's not worth whatever. And we walk up, and the guy's like, he's like, are you guys rotor heads too? And it was like,
he used that term.
Yeah, he used that term because he was, I guess. And it was like at that moment I decided I wasn't into RX-7s, and I just kind of like,
that was the end.
We just sort of like backed away from it. Yeah, that just reminded me of that. I remember walking up to him and being like, nah, this thing's kind of weak. Yeah. Like it's not worth $1,000.
I remember when I was in high school, like my dad was in the market for a new car and he was looking at the 350Z, like when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
And so we went, like I just went with him to a Nissan dealership. And so like he like walked into the sales room and was talking to somebody. And then I saw like a Civic Del Sol just parked out on the lot. And so
Sweet.
I was like, oh, I'm going to go check this out. And so like I walked up to it and like opened the door and like sat in it and I'm like checking it out. I'm like going through the gears and everything. And then all of a sudden this like guy comes and like walks up to the car and he's like, yeah, you're in my car. And I'm like, oh, whoops. Like I thought this was a used car for sale.
Can I drive it?
Yeah. So that was pretty awkward for me. I was like, oh, sweet car, dude.
Well, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
But that was fun.
That reminds me as well of the RX-8.
Yeah, that's a funny car.
That is an interesting car. The RX-7, the FD, which people, that's a weird car in itself because people love that thing and they romanticize it.
It's idolized, yeah.
And I like it too. It is a beautiful car, but it's like in a lot of ways, that thing blows. Like the build quality just kind of sucks. Yeah. And that motor is just
not reliable.
Dirty.
It's like you have
to be on top of it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's a commitment
right
to own one of those things. It's like they are neat, but like that's just there's a ton of work that goes into that. But everyone likes it regardless. But the RX-8 is kind of a weird one because people always talk about like they always talk about like the rotary coming back or whatever. Please, like, please. It's like, seriously, it's been like 2 goes at it where they're like, please bring back bring back an RX-7 turbo. I think what they usually mean is bring back the FD.
Right.
But it's like that thing sucked. It was a disaster. I mean,
it stopped selling for a reason.
Yeah, like they didn't sell well, and they like lit on fire. I mean, it was just kind of a mess. And it's like the RX-8 is an option, but no one seems to really.
They don't still make it though, do they?
No, but like you can buy like a nice RX-8 for like $5,000 or something.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
Cheap. Yeah, and it's the thing that's funny is because like I think the RX-8 and the S2000 are pretty similar. Like they drive kind of like,
oh, that's a good
they're
point.
Like roughly the same size, roughly the same power. They even like rev to the same, except the S2000 is like 1 billion times more popular and more valuable.
More valuable.
Just because it's not a rotary.
Right. Well, you had that RX-8 press car whatever back when we lived in LA.
Like the R3
and like
oh, that's right.
It was like what edition was it? It was like that weird edition.
Yeah, it was like the R3, like whatever, like the best edition of the RX-8 was.
Oh, that's
cool. We went to like through Palos Verdes or something, right? Yeah, we like drove up into these mountains and it was fun, but it reminds me of like the FRS now. Like you have to rev the hell out of it to get any power.
I mean, it's fun, but it's like a very
like just putting around town. It's not very exciting. Like you have to get on it.
Let the rotary die. I think that's my. It's like it's such a weird.
It seems like a long shot.
Yeah, it's just not.
Like, how are they going to make that? It's like everything's going electric and like low emissions. Like, we brought the rotary back, like because people wanted it.
Yeah, the rotary is like a gas-powered electric motor, kind of like the design of it.
Well, isn't Mazda revealing some new motor at LA Auto Show?
Maybe some like
I'm not
Sky Active.
Yeah, I didn't look into it too much. I just heard rumors about it. So
yeah, it's always a weird one though. Everyone gets so excited for another rotary thing, but it's like, what advantage? Because for a while they're like, it revs so high, and it's like, not really. It's not but like.
It's just funny because like the RX-8 like seems like the type of car that people would like
go nuts for.
Have, like NA, like revs high, very driver focused. It's like no one wants them. They're like they cost next to nothing. Like,
when they're done well, they're cool.
Yeah, they're neat cars,
but like they're just not popular.
You have to people want to talk like they want to romanticize a car, but they don't really want to commit to it, so that's why they just buy S2000.
Sam is commenting on my dongle. Okay, well, anyways, not a fan.
No.
I'm not buying the hype. Let it die, let it go. We had on here big news, very relevant. apparently, and maybe I shouldn't bring this up without researching it. Apparently, the CEO of Nissan is like
in jail.
What's his name?
Carlos Ghosn.
And he was like a huge deal. Yeah. Right? I mean, he was like...
It's like a huge story in Japan.
Yeah, because he's a big character there, isn't he? He's like a giant thing. But he was like... Yeah, like... Fudging numbers.
And some sketchy stuff. But we were just wondering if that... Like, what kind of... If that will have any effect on, like, Nissan... Like, if they... Like, how... I don't know how much input he actually had on...
The direction they were going,
because they're pretty bad.
Yeah,
he was certainly a big driver of cost cutting. Yeah, like that was his big thing is like cutting cost and whatever. But yeah, I hadn't even heard of that. That's interesting. Maybe it's on Jalopnik. I just don't read it.
Right,
it's probably all over Jalopnik.
Yeah, but it's just. Well, I mean, like, because I guess he took over in like '99, which was when Nissan was like
still good.
Or still like, they were kind of like in the shitter like by the late '90s. And then he like brought him back, saved him. I guess they're like actually in danger of like going out completely.
Or being totally. Out, they were in bad shape.
Yeah, and then he kind of with the merger with Renault, or whatever. And then they made some. Sorry, I meant Renault.
Yeah,
Peugeot. But they made some good cars, like in there, like the 350Z, like the G35.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
But like lately, I mean,
they're dropping the ball.
I just wonder if that'll have any effect. Maybe it might be a negative effect. Like they might
get even worse.
Yeah,
merge with Tata or something. Yeah. Did they name a replacement, or he's just out?
I don't
have some like interim something.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have no effect on their product strategy, but
it'll
be cool to see them come back.
Yeah, because we were saying they just released the 2019 Altima or something.
We had like some stupid flyer that was like, come check out the all new redesigned 2019 Altima.
And it just looks the same as the old one.
Right.
All new is like the most worthless. All new, except it looks the same. That still sucks.
Yeah.
Man, chat is blowing up. This is whoever is watching this right now. It's like if you want to know who your tribe is.
Yeah.
if you've ever been trying to find like-minded people, it's probably people who are taking time out of their day to watch a Car Bros Live podcast. Yeah. These are your fellow brethren.
They could be watching HBO like Sunday night.
They could be doing so many better things than this, and they're choosing to be here.
Did you see the Viper comment up?
It was like near the beginning. I think it was the guy who owns the Viper, the Daily Driver Viper.
Is he here?
Yeah, there, David. Yeah.
What's up, David?
Oh, it's him.
Started leaking coolant apparently the day after.
Don't let us know.
Yeah.
I spun into a ditch. David's the man, oozing machismo.
There's actually like a way I take to work. Did they make a factory like Dodge truck with the Viper V10?
Yeah.
Like a Dakota or something?
Still?
No.
Was it a Ram?
Yeah.
They used to.
That was, okay, yeah. Like there's one of those that I see and I'm like,
those are pretty sweet.
Damn, that thing is sweet. Like it's all bad. Like it just has Viper badges all over it.
Yeah, those are cool. They're just not a good like truck.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not a good truck, but it's still a sweet vehicle.
I don't know if I'd rather have that or a Viper.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd just rather have a Viper. They are pretty sweet.
Those things are probably cheap though.
I wonder.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I think you get them with a stick, right? It's like V10 and
I don't know. Yeah.
16.
Do they have an auto on that? I don't know.
I think they made both.
Oh, okay.
My wife pointed out that she's not choosing one.
Well,
that's bullshit.
We could talk about my mom's.
What's your wife's name? We need to call her out by name.
We get very personal.
Whole second half of this podcast is going to be Cheryl or whatever. I'm sure she's enjoying it on some level.
Oh damn! The guy who bought his Viper from was also selling a Viper truck.
Dang, Viper enthusiast.
Yeah, you should get them both. I know. Your winner beater. Yeah, sweet lineup. Okay.
Carl, bringing it out. I'm bringing the heat.
Here is our main topic of the night. People sucking at like kind of skilled car maneuvers.
But not really.
like for
just basic car maneuvers
for a car.
Yeah.
You know, for as easy as cars are to drive.
Yeah.
So it's like parallel parking, 3-point turns, you know, that kind of stuff. And the thing what brought this up for me is when you are when you're either like at a coffee shop or something or a restaurant seated at the window, and there's a spot open to parallel park, and someone goes for it. And like real early, you see them fucking it up, and you're like, someone's talking, you're like, hold on.
Like, stop what I'm doing. I
gotta stop you here because this guy's gonna really fuck this parking job up, and I want to take it in. And they're like, it's just like, nope. And they'll do a couple. They're like sawing at the space, and then a lot of times they'll just abort it or whatever.
I'll go find a different spot.
I didn't really want to park there anyway.
Yeah, or they'll just like leave it on their cars. Like they'll fix it 10 times and it's still fucked up.
I found a better spot.
Yeah, it's like, it's not worth it. That one is sweet. Or people who just can't figure out how to park, like simple parking lot maneuvers, and they just like can't quite do it.
They always like, it seems like they forget that they can turn their wheel like before they start rolling.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, I'm backing up now. Now I'm going to like turn sharply. It's like, no, you can like do that before the car is actually rolling.
Yeah, they start rolling. It's just like, you can watch it. It's kind of entertaining in a sick sort of way.
Unless you're like waiting for them. But on that note, like the other day, the reason that we actually brought this up is I was going to a little place we call Chipotle.
A little hole in the wall.
A little local
spot.
Little something.
A little flavor.
It's kind of hard to describe, but like, it's like there's spots like at a 90-degree angle, like spots going this way and spots going this way, where they essentially like meet. And there's a FJ Cruiser Toyota like backing out, like from one of the ones where there's like cars backed out, like where he couldn't really like turn easily. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be here forever. Like this is gonna be entertaining, like watching this. But then the guy just like, he was just on it, like he like perfectly backed up and like did this like super like well like efficient. I was like, damn.
Yeah, when someone pulls off some sweet move, some park job or something. How's he gonna get
out of this? And he's like, I got this.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of want to go compliment.
I think I'm gonna give this guy a thumbs up.
I'm gonna, it's like nice.
I was just like, damn, I'm gonna be here a while, but nope.
Yeah,
he handled his business.
Yeah, the ability to. The other one is like, if you back into a spot, some people only back in.
In Japan,
it's like
that's
a thing.
90% of the people park.
Oh, really? They always back in?
Almost always.
Yeah, backing in, I like it, and I do it a lot of times, but sometimes I'll be with people and they're like, wow.
One shot.
Yeah, they're always like backing in like they wouldn't even try it. And they're just like impressed by it. It's like a skill. Or like if you're in, those are like two things that impress me if you're ever riding with a girl. One, if she drives stick, that's cool. And two, if she like backs into a spot. You're like, who is this? Who is this woman?
That always like irritates me, to be honest. People who purposely back in.
Really?
Like, unless they're really good at it, but like 90% of the time they're not. And like,
if you can't hit it,
they have to do it a couple times. And I'm like,
backup cameras make that a lot easier.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
People who like spend so much time making that maneuver, it's like they do it and they say like, oh, it's so when I leave, you know, I can leave quicker. And it's like, yeah, but the amount of time you wasted parking in the first place.
I like backing in.
So it's got to leave in a hurry.
Yeah.
You got to take it down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the only time I do it is if like we go to like a huge event and you park in a parking garage.
Oh, right.
And so you just can like get out, you can try to get out early.
Slip on out.
That's a good one. Carl just brought up a good point. Trailer maneuvers.
Oh goodness.
Oh yeah.
Trailer reversing too.
Yeah.
I will be the first to admit I'm not good at it. I've towed a trailer before, but like backing it up.
Like, oh, what's it doing?
I mean, I'll watch people do it and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like some people are really good at it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
It's awesome watching like truck drivers, like, you know, big rig drivers, like just maneuver their trailer.
Yeah, or they can like U-turn into themselves,
right? Or like reversing and like you know, into this spot, like in one shotting it with his trailer. It's pretty.
Yeah, they're
impressive.
nailing it.
Yeah, it's also pretty fun if you go to like the lake or whatever and like watch people try to put their boats in
the
water.
That's
yeah.
They're like back in like way too far.
Yeah, they're like up to the door handle in water and stuff. Yeah, that's good times.
Pretty entertaining.
The other one that frustrates me on the topic of people not being good drivers is an ambulance on the other side of the road or fire truck, and people start to pull over, or do pull over. They like,
or they
make
just don't know what they like. Hesitate too.
They hesitate, and there's like a 10-foot dirt median with like trees and shit.
Yeah,
and like the ambulance is coming, and they start to react. It's like, what do you think he's gonna do?
Yeah,
why you would need to pull over? He's gonna like
suddenly cut across.
He's gonna like Dukes of Hazzard across this thing. It's like, you don't need to react.
He's going the other way.
He's going the other way.
Solid median.
Yeah, there's a huge median here. That happened to me the other day, and it's like, it's awkward. The whole ambulance thing is awkward because it's like, you want to pull over, but you also don't want people to like cut you. You know? It's like, you're gonna pull over, but you're trying to like hold your space. And then like, it's like, yeah, I want the guy to get by, but like, it's this weird like dance with other people.
Mm-hmm. I think the instance I added to the list was when you come up to a stoplight and then there's someone either in front of you or next to you that like stops like a whole, like sometimes even like 2 car lengths short of the car in front of them. And then throughout the period of the red light, they like slowly creep up like inches or like, you know, at a time. And it's like, what is going on? Like,
I'm a bit of a creeper.
Well, I don't understand how you do it, because like you're relaxing your foot on the brake. Like, it takes more effort to lift your foot off of the brake to creep forward than it is to just sit there.
The thing I do is like, I'll pull up to.
Is there any other creepers?
Which side are you on? Yeah. I'll pull up to a crosswalk, and then I'll usually like creep into the crosswalk. And it drives people nuts, but it's like, I like to see, like, I like to kind of be out there a little bit, because like usually it doesn't matter. And then someone will like actually use the crosswalk, and they have to like,
go around you.
It's like, sorry, I'm just bad.
I just don't understand that, because like I'll like stop behind the worst is when I'm behind them, because they'll stop super short. And then I'll stop behind them, like at a normal distance, and then they'll creep forward, and then there's a gap between me, and it's like, okay, now I have to like fucking creep forward. Otherwise, I look like the jackass.
Yeah, you got to play along.
Yeah.
So I was talking about during Thanksgiving. I forget why I brought it up, but I was talking about fast lane, slow lane stuff.
Yeah.
And it like started this big debate.
This heated debate around turkey.
Yeah, or it was like, it turned into this thing. It's like, well, I leave too much distance. I'm like, well, you need to get out of the fast lane. It's like, whoa. Like, I didn't mean to. It's like, it's a heated topic. Okay, last thing. I think. Sup, Lisa, by the way.
Hopefully she's still tuning in. Yeah.
Putting away, we are in Central California, where it's just like, it's either hot or it's like fall weather. It's either like 100 degrees or it's 60. And we were talking about how much it would have to suck to like store your car for the winter.
Right. Yeah.
Because I guess that's a thing.
That's a thing
that people do in a lot of states, where you have to like put it away and like put it up on stands.
Like, I have my winter car.
Yeah.
Or like a winter beater.
Or like pay for like a storage, like a heated building.
I guess. Yeah. It's like I usually don't drive the M5 in the rain, but that's about the most.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
you could if you need
a couple days of the week, it might rain or something. So that's too bad.
Yeah.
Anyone out there who has to store your shit.
Yeah. or just not use the car. Like, you love cars and you can't use it for a quarter to a half of the year.
Or I guess they salt. I mean, a lot of the country, they salt the roads.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's another reason probably why not.
And then your car gets all
fucked up. Yeah.
Screwed
Rusty,
up.
yeah.
That's why California car is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we've only ever been in California, but it's like,
right.
The underbody of our cars and stuff. It's like, they're fine. You know, 20 years old, like you pull bolts off.
It's like people even do that with cars that like you wouldn't even think are that's like Civic Type R. Like, I was looking on the, forum, and it's like, well, put my Type R away for the winter.
Right. Still making payments.
Yeah. I'm like, assuming you're making a payment.
Make payments on a car that's sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a special enough car.
Yeah. But I mean, just, it doesn't seem like a car. Like, it's my baby. Oh, I guess it is.
I don't know. To some people, I would. I just wouldn't live there. Screw that.
Yeah.
Store your car. It's weak.
Yeah, that would be tough. Like, it's something we can't even really imagine it.
Yeah, it's so foreign to us.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, what are we closing in on an hour? I think.
No, we're like 42 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right, one more. We'll close it down. I was thinking today about, you had written on here about hauling ass on like highway on ramps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the cloverleaf or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's as close to exciting street driving
as you'll ever get.
As you really get on a car, other than like finding a mountain road somewhere and going on
but
it.
Even that's pretty that can be like pretty dangerous if you don't know the
road. It's pretty dangerous, right? You're usually on the side of a mountain,
right?
You know,
and there's like oncoming traffic.
The stakes are high,
right?
Yeah. And so you had written like that. It's like for that little minute. Because you can get on the freeway pretty aggressively and no one's going to know.
Yeah, like I saw you like accelerating.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing over 80 on the way on.
And like the cloverleaf ramps, it's like
there's no banked corner.
Yeah, there's no speed limit on the you can like drive it as fast as you want to take it. Really,
fucking hit it. Yeah, everyone has their like favorite on ramp.
Yeah,
it's like
I know every bump and
you know that on ramp, and you're just like hitting it every morning.
And then if there's like someone else, like like a normal person getting on, if you're like,
you're like super annoyed.
Why
are you going the speed limit on this on ramp?
Cherokee.
It's nothing more fun than like a wind and then just hammering it on the freeway. It's like that's a pretty good.
You come out of it going like 50. And then
you
just
right.
Like punch it to 100.
Yeah, when I lived in LA, like I had like a 45-minute to an hour commute to work each way, and like it's just all terrible LA traffic. And then except for the one on ramp that I would get off to get to work, was a cloverleaf, and so
was that Nash?
Yeah, Nash 105 and Nash. Yeah. If you've ever been in Southern California near LAX, 105 and Nash is
taken that.
It's a hot off ramp, but because I got the STI like right when I started working there, and you're just sitting in stop and go traffic, and a manual car sucks, except for then this one off ramp you can take it at like double the posted speed. It's like downhill and banked. It was pretty nice.
That reminds me too of like anywhere where on a public road where it's like either that where it's a really good on ramp or off ramp, or it's like a cul-de-sac with a big open spot or something. It's like you can tell how good the section of road is by how many like donut marks and stuff are on it. It's like wherever you are, if it's like a flat straight road or something, it's like there's gonna be a bunch of burnout
donuts
marks
or 11s. Yeah,
other people have found
someone came out there and marked it for you. But it kind of made me think like if I was wealthy enough, I'd probably just have a strip of like paved land.
Yeah, that's essentially like my dream.
Yeah, why don't more people do that?
I don't know.
Like,
I always thought like if I like won the lotto or just like hit a bunch of money, like I would essentially build my own like even like a go-kart-esque track that you could just like enough to screw around down.
Yeah, like all you need is like an 1/8 mile square. It's like that's all you need. It's so easy. You just gotta go do donuts on it and stuff, and go crazy.
Yeah, goofing off.
Yeah, because like every once in a while you'll like you can't help it. You'll be like driving out in the sticks. You're like, this is a good road. Like, I'm gonna come out here and street race on it.
Carl says he was pulled over on an on-ramp once for speeding.
The officer was legitimately confused as how he was speeding
on an on-ramp. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
That is how it works, isn't it?
This is great.
Yeah.
You guys have made this great.
We were a little hesitant as to how
we
it would
were
turn
curious.
out. Yeah.
Honestly, I felt like success for this would be 20 viewers.
Out of our 40,000 subscribers.
I mean, you don't know. So I would say let's make this a regular thing.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be once a month.
Probably
more likely. And we'll try to do a better job of like announcing when we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because,
well, maybe depending on Christmas, New Year, we might be able to do 2, depending on.
Oh, that's true.
What's going on? Well,
people's schedules are usually a little nuts.
Yeah, we'll have to play it by ear
around Christmas or New Year, but we'll try to do it.
Yeah.
Send it. I love it.
Yeah. Sam asks, how is the term, or how do we feel about the term "send it"? Yeah.
I'm all about it. I mean, I climb, so I'm all about sending it.
Yeah.
I use that every time I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
E46 M3, not as good as E39 M5. Sorry, bro.
Just wait for the video. Yeah.
I just don't turn my head. Someone posted in the chat. E46 M3, greatest of all time. I just don't really turn my head for an M3.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you see them and you're like...
They sound sweet. I mean, like
they do.
I'm sure it's a very fun...
They're cool.
You're never,
I'm not saying they're bad.
Yeah, you're never like, whoa.
Yeah, they're cool. But to me, an M5 is like better. It's more special.
And the 4Runner.
Yeah. 99 4Runner, greatest of all time. Yeah, it's good. She get more tough. Wife's excited. I think we got a new...
She's excited that it's winding down.
I think she's excited it's over.
Oh, she's excited it's over.
She gets the TV back after this or whatever, the computer.
I'm just gonna... Man, this is good. People keep throwing stuff. Now let's come back to... We'll take another run at this next time. We'll be better prepared.
Yeah.
You guys bring your questions next time.
Yeah, we figured out the hard stuff now. So.
Yeah, we got it. We got the setup.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I guess if anyone was wondering, this will be Mondays.
Yeah, this will post
this
tomorrow.
Is tomorrow's podcast.
Right. So sorry,
Nothing new. Nothing new tomorrow.
But you will have, in addition to this, we've also recorded at least one more. So
we should have.
There's fresh.
We're trying to figure out how to do December.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. You guys get shit faced do a live show.
Yeah. Not on a Sunday night.
We were thinking, whatever. We'll figure that out. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Consider signing up for our Patreon. One final cash grab.
I'm sure half of these people are already, but
it's probably only patrons. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Probably see you. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there, Lisa. Probably see you guys in a month live, and then at least a couple Mondays.
And M5 video.
January 1st. Video.
It's January. It's
M5 video
locked
dropping
in.
soon.
Locked in.
It's coming in hot. Cool. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you.
Take it easy.
Have a good week.
Yeah.